Okay, so we're going live again. I don't know if it's going to connect, if this is going to connect to when you were previously watching. It might or might not. Michelle stepped out briefly because she's not doing so well with the stop and go of the limo. It's a little bit nausea-inducing, and I agree with that. Thank you for everybody who was chatting with us before, Antonietta and Jen. Awesome to have that feedback to talk with. Thank you so much. We're chatting about RT and whether or not we should go to RT.
The only reasons that I want to go is because of the people that I've talked to. Well, I mean, I've mostly just talked to the authors that have gone. And they've all told me how good of an experience it was and how much fun it was, and it was great to connect. The downside of it is lines. I hate to stand in a line. Yeah. I do not want to do it. I will pay somebody to stand on a line for me if it's possible, because I do not want to be there. I just don't.
You know, I would totally get paid to do that, stand in line for someone. I'll just read a book. I can stand there and read a book.
I just don't want to do it.
As much as possible. Want to do it either.
As much as possible.
I'm really curious. So if you're watching this and you go to RT and you're familiar with the whole line process, like standing in line for all the different things, how do you feel about that? Do you mind? Do you feel like it's worth it? How long do you stand in line? Do you really wish that you could just pay someone to stand in line for you? I'm really curious, what's the reader experience? Because I kind of get what the author experience is, having talked to lots of friends who do it, and they think they get a lot out of it. Because it's really a reader conference, but it's a reader, like, it's okay. I've been to San Diego Comic-Con and I didn't enjoy it. I gotta be real, like, it's not my thing. I do not want to stand in line for 4 hours so I can maybe be in the back of the room for some panel of some stars that I could see way closer up on TV, right? So is it like that at RT, or is it, do you have a better shot of actually interacting with people, right? Like, I'm just really curious. Before I invest $2,000 in the conference, I would like to know what I'm getting into. You know?
To be honest, I think sometimes it's okay. This is as a reader, this is my opinion on it. One, it's you get to meet authors that you've never connected with before or you've never read. But the downside is like you have to go through all these people and all these channels just to get there. I've had experiences where I've met with authors at smaller conventions, and I've actually got to connect with them, and that was a great connection. Here, don't open me. Just
you want, really?
Nope,
you need more? Okay. You got like most of a glass
I looked at
there.
it. I thought it was one. But I've had issues when it comes to even smaller like conventions, like with the Golden Gate
author signing.
Yeah. There was a woman that was head over heels for almost every author that was there, and it was just so hard to get a word in edgewise. But if you can find an author that will put aside a little bit extra time just to connect with you and talk to you, I think that's great. River Savage actually did that with us, and is she
the one that had Hedge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a good book.
That cover was fantastic.
It was.
I love that.
It was a good book. It was a good cover.
Much.
She was very, very nice, and every single picture that we took, she was like, no, this one didn't look good.
Like, let's take another one.
Let's do one more.
Yeah, let's do another selfie. I'm gonna put it on my Instagram.
Yeah. So authors like that, I can really relate to. But if you're just like a picture and a go. Hello, that's it. I don't have anything else for you, then I don't find it worth my time.
As a blogger, if I come up and tell you that I want to feature you, and like, okay, I'm just going to get real here. If you tell me, okay, great, I'll put you in touch with my assistant, I may not feature you, because I don't do this to talk to assistants. Like, I get why you have assistants, and I totally, like, I love people who love books so much that that's their job, right? But as a blogger, you're my rock star. You're the reason I do this, and I want to talk to you. I want to be part of your circle. I want to be in your influence, right? And if you're just gonna like shunt me off to an assistant, that's harder for me. Like, that doesn't make me as interested in you. So just a tip for authors: when you're interacting with people who are saying, "Hey, I want to promote you," think about how you can help them too. Maybe, right? And I'm sorry if that's offensive, but realistically, like, it's a lot of work. Being a blogger is a lot of work, and I just want to be around you. So please don't push me off to an assistant, is what I'm saying. So Antionetta says she agrees. Thank you.
Antionetta, you need to come and find us and hang out with us.
I need to hang out with you. Like, here, give her a heart. Cheryl,
Watch
give her a
your
heart.
class.
I know, it's right there. It's down.
I'll do half a heart.
Here,
Do
we're
this.
gonna give you a total. Seriously, we should hook up because if you're in the Bay Area, there's no reason not to. And Auntie Netta was also saying that you meet fellow book lovers at RT, which is awesome, which is how we met. And then it depends on the authors, like that you would wait if it's something that you really want to meet. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I would too.
I agree, but I feel like if the line is ridiculous, like it literally takes 30 minutes just to see them, I'm not gonna waste my time.
So it's sort of like, and I found this out at the Golden Gate author signing, is that there was one author who had a really, really long line, like a 45-minute long line.
It was.
I don't remember.
Oh gosh,
but there were multiple other authors. Like I could see 5 authors. I could meet and take pictures with and like have a real conversation with 5 people in the time that I could stand in the line for the one well-known person. Like as a blogger, as a reader, I would rather invest in the person who's not well-known because maybe there's a gem there, right? Like maybe there's an amazing story there that I can help like other people find, and that's what I'm really passionate about. So Auntie Netta says she used to blog too, and for her 1-year anniversary, she reached out to Gina Showalter for a feature and interacted with her assistant the whole time. Yeah. So it's really cool that you got to connect with Gina, but you didn't actually get to connect with Gina, right? So it's just like positive and negative. It's bittersweet, right? It feels like you're excited that you broke through, but you're also kind of sad because you didn't really get that real connection. And that's kind of how I feel too. It's like,
I think it's even worse if it's an author that you absolutely love. Like if it were, I mean, 100% it's not like this with Kristen, because you can reach out to Kristen and you can talk to her.
Yeah.
But if hypothetically that was a situation, somebody would be very bummed out if you were a huge fan. But the thing about Kristen is she talks to you. She tells you. There was when we went, and after I left, I reached out to her and she was like, you know what? I had a dream about you, and I was like, little old me? What? Are you kidding me?
come into the frame. Come further.
Sorry.
Michelle's car sick, so she abandoned us for a little bit.
But it's awesome to have authors like that, and eventually, you know what? Authors become friends. If you are connected enough with them, they become one of your closest friends. Yeah. So,
like Rebecca Zanetti, who's adorable, and I love her, and
which I've heard so much about.
Every time I see her, I'm like fangirling over her. Even though she's my friend, like literally my friend at this point, I just feel like I just want to give her hugs every time I see her.
Is it like with you? Do you separate the author from the friend?
I do.
Because I do that.
Yeah.
If I'm a fan of your book, I can still separate you as a person, and that's one of the things that's like pretty awesome. Is like I can differentiate. Because one thing is their characters in their mind, right? That's their mind. But then you also meet this person that's very, you know...
Like, the lesson is that you shouldn't judge an author by their books or their characters. Because they may not be anything like what you expect. So somebody who writes, like, really hardcore erotica... Okay, Eden Bradley is a really good example of this.
Yes.
Somebody who writes, like if you've read the Training House series, it is hardcore erotic BDSM. It is hardcore. But you meet Eden and she's a sweet... like sweetheart, like adorable, kind, loving person. Like totally not what you expected that voice to come out of.
I remember the first time I even heard about Eden before I met her, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't know if she's gonna like me. Like I don't know what to expect. And I met her, and I was just like, oh my god, I love you. Like I love you. You are just so sweet, and you're just the best. And she has this mothering aspect of her.
She's very maternal.
It's amazing how she kind of just takes you under her wings.
But you know what I found about authors, having like met many of them through blogging and editing, they're just people. Authors are just people. Just like celebrities are just people, right? So they write stories because they're in their head, and they publish them because that's a living for them, and it's an outlet for them. But it's not like who they are. It does not define them as a person.
But don't get me wrong, you're gonna find people that you do not connect with, or they might not be the nicest to you.
That's true.
Don't always expect that anybody that you meet in daily life is never gonna like you or love you or accept you or not accept you.
It's like normal relationships.
It is. Yeah. It's a very normal situation where you might meet somebody that you don't connect with and you do. So that's how it is with authors as well, which is something that I realized.
But you don't think
about...
Except
for Tina Folsom, I'm still trying to connect with you.
I'm going to tag Tina so she can know how much of a fan Cheryl is. Cheryl's like a super fan of Tina Folsom. And she was a sweetheart last year at RWA. I knew that Tina was there, and so I sent her a text and said, hey, or Twitter, like a Twitter direct message or something. I was like, hey, I would love to meet up with you. I have a friend who's such a big fan. She would love like a signed book or a signed anything from you, because Cheryl is like massive Tina Folsom fan. And so I ended up getting a picture with her and some screen cleaners. I think. And so I sent it to Cheryl, and Cheryl was like flipping out because I'd met Tina Folsom.
I'm not gonna lie, I was angry with her for a little bit. Because it wasn't me.
She was jealous of me. Yeah. Not at Tina.
No, never. Not with Tina. She can do no wrong in my eyes.
And Cheryl keeps joking, like, you need to set up a dinner, like an impromptu dinner with... I'm like, I don't know Tina.
I told her she needs to set up an interview where I just casually walk in on it. And I'll be like, oh my god, Sue, I didn't know you were here.
So Jennifer Morris says she honestly doesn't mind dealing with an assistant, and that her experience working through an assistant to start generally leads to contact with the authors themselves, but she totally understands that it's not the same experiences. Yeah, I agree. Like, sometimes the assistants are great, and this is nothing against the assistants, and I really hope that comes through, because I don't want to, like, badmouth assistants. There's a reason authors have assistants, and I totally get that. Like, honestly, I need one. Like, assistants serve... She's kind of my intern, actually. Assistants serve a purpose, and like they're really good at what they do, and the good ones are fantastic. But when an author's initial reaction to me is, oh, you can talk to my assistant, my response is no, because that's not why I do this. You know, that's okay. And some people are fine with it. I'm just not. It's not me. Thank you, NC, and that's it. We heart you. I feel like we've given you like 5 hearts. We need to meet this girl.
Well, that's a possibility.
Yes. I'll try to find you after. So if you're not, friend me on Facebook, and I'll try to find you after.
We're a fun little group.
We are fun. This is basically us all the time.
It can get worse.
Michelle's laughing because she says it's true.
Yeah. I'm being on my best behavior right now, so it can get worse.
Yeah, Cheryl can be very naughty.
But people love me. Eden loves me for my naughtiness.
John loves you for your naughtiness.
True.
Yes. Yeah. One of my goals for the year, I don't usually make New Year's resolutions, but one of my New Year's resolutions for the year was to not be a diva.
She's doing great, by the way.
Thank you. Oh, I want to hug. Because, like, I'm always like, I need space. I need quiet. I need, like, certain things. And this year I was like, no. I need to be normal, right? Like, I need to be like normal people and not be like needy all the time. And so even this weekend, I'm like, no, I'll sleep on the air mattress. You can have the bed. It's totally fine. Like, it's totally fine.
Wasn't expecting that.
Did you enjoy the bedroom?
I did. Actually, in the middle of the night, I woke up and did not realize where I was.
It's really comfortable, that bed.
I freaked out for a minute when I woke up because I was like, oh my god, where am I? And then I was like, oh, okay, I'm in Michelle's house. I'm good.
So when I say things like, I don't want to be a diva, and then I say things like, when you tell me as an author, I have to work with your assistant, I'm not trying to be a diva. That's not what that's about. It's about the reason that bloggers do what they do. So it's sort of a psychological thing. And there are many assistants I work with that I really like working with. But those people also give me access to the author so that I can make those personal connections too. And that's really important too. So Antonietta says she picked reading over reviewing. It got to be too much. Yeah, I totally understand. I have a backlist of like 20 to 30 books at any time. And I generally try to get to certain things by certain dates, by generally release dates, but it doesn't always happen. And I feel bad about that. I kind of have reading guilt about that. But sometimes I just want to read something random, yes. And I'll just put something random in. Yeah, and like the three of us have been talking about, we haven't really read enough things together kind of as a book club, because we started as friends as a book club. But then we read like, what, 2 books, and then we just kind of gave up and we just started hanging out.
Well, so now our goal is to basically read anything that's going to be featured on the cruise, any author that's featured on the 1001 Dark Nights cruise.
Right, so we're going on the 1001 Dark Nights cruise, and there's about half the authors probably that I haven't read.
Yeah.
that I want to try to read. So maybe tonight we can put together a list.
I would say that's a fabulous idea.
Of authors that, sorry for the camera movement, I'm trying to keep it standing up. It's like
e-readers or physical books. How many books are in your Kindle?
Oh God, I don't even know. I don't even know.
You have over 1,000 books.
You have more than I do.
Wow.
You have more than I do. Have you read them all? Oh, read 50. Okay. Yeah, that's the problem, right? Because you're like, oh, I'll buy this book now, and then I'll read it later, and then later never comes because you buy more books, and then it's not on your carousel anymore.
Well, my problem is that like most of mine are Kindle Unlimited, so you can only have up to 10 books.
Oh, yes,
so you still have your TBRs, but you still have like all these books, and you're like, I want to read them. What do I do?
So Antonia just says it makes her feel bad when she couldn't blog consistently, and I say don't worry about that because like blog, you don't get paid to blog. Most people don't get paid to blog, and if you do, you're working really hard at it, and you deserve it, right? So. Blog when you can. Blog because you like it, not because you feel like you have to. And if the best you can do is throw a review on like Goodreads or Amazon or Barnes & Noble, that's fine. That's great, especially if it's a review day or a couple days after, release day or a couple days after release, because that really benefits authors. But whatever you can do is fine. And you're a reader. It's your pleasure, right? Do what makes you happy. So if you like blogging, then blog your heart out. But if you don't like it, don't bother. It's not worth the trouble.
I couldn't blog.
NetGalley.
She doesn't.
NetGalley is a big thing. Let's talk about NetGalley. Do you guys have NetGalley accounts? So NetGalley is it's like a professional reader site where a lot of authors and publishers put up review copies for books, and I use NetGalley a lot. So you can download things there. And then you can put your review directly into NetGalley and then put your ratings and your links and everything, which is pretty cool. So I get a lot there because I'm auto-approved on several publishers, so I just pull them down and I can read them without any problems. But I also get them from other places. So you kind of have to balance like your NetGalley versus other things. But I would say if you're first starting out on NetGalley, if you want to be a reviewer, be really careful about what you download because there is an algorithm that calculates your read, your like production percentage, I guess is a good way to put that. And if you like, say you download 100 books and you only review 10 of them, that gives you a 10% rating, and that means that people who are coming into a preview for other books could look at that 10% and be like, oh, this person's just wanting free books and they're not going to actually pay out, and they want a preview. So just be careful about that. Antonietta says her TBR is out of control. Yeah, so I have like 3 TBRs. So I have two on Amazon. I have one on Goodreads, 2 on Amazon, and then one that I sort of keep personally. And then I also have my Kindle carousel. So if I'm like, oh, this book is free or this book is cheap, and I buy it because I want to read it later, and then they just go like, yeah. It's going off and on connection here. And then Jennifer Morris says, that's what happened to her. Her blog was going for 5 years and then got neglected when she started Coastal Magic, which is like a full-time job. Doing a convention is like a full-time job. And now she's more comfortable with Coastal Magic, so it looks like you might be getting more into blogging. Yeah. And Amazon, Antonia just says that Amazon is the black hole for books. And your wallet, yeah. When I was doing my taxes last year, I spent over $500 just on Amazon books. And I get free books on NetGalley. I get free books from authors. Like, I still spent $500 on books last year. Like, how did that happen?
I just found a loophole to all this where she gets these free books, so I just look at her her shelf and I go, that looks interesting.
Like my
Are you reading
books? This girl steals them.
I give them back eventually.
Sometimes.
But you still have mine, so it's fine.
I do it too of yours, so
it totally works.
So, and I give them as gifts too.
She does. Nice. She does. Which, by the way, she gave me a book as a gift, which I downloaded on Kindle, and it was very sweet because she got it signed for me, and it says my name and everything by
Gail Carriger.
Gail Carriger. Mm-hmm. Sorry, the name was not clicking to me for a second.
We've had a few bottles of wine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, I was really excited about that. It was awesome.
I'm glad you liked it. That was a fun book.
It is
fun.
I have not finished it yet because I had to read another book.
It's gay werewolves in San Francisco.
But
like you just a werewolf in a mage.
I just think any
Why
book
don't you
that's
think about
based
it
in
than
San
that?
Francisco I can relate to. You know. Ugh.
And
I mean, if it's written poorly,
there's like
then I can't.
there's a really old, like, I guess not immortal but almost immortal drag queen.
Almost.
Who's a fox, which is cool too. It's very San Francisco. No, we can if we want. We're driving through Sonoma now. I really wish I could show you the other side because it's really pretty out there. You can kind of see that way.
Not right now.
Well, it's kind of brown right now. California is getting summery out of sun. Are you over the live feed? Is that what you're telling me?
No, never. Never.
Cheryl's over it. She's just
Never.
over it. Oh, Discovery of Witches is so good. So I read. Did you like it too?
Oh, yeah.
Michelle says she liked it too.
Hardback.
The first book was really good. I
first
don't.
one.
Did you read the second one?
No.
I don't think I read the second one
I read the
either.
first one.
But I think they're all out now. I think it's finished now.
Oh, all right.
I saw a link to it recently. That is a really good book.
It's a
Really good
long
series.
book.
Yeah. Yeah, Jennifer says that Gail's on her TBR. So you should try, if you like shifters, try the Sumage Solution. It's a really good, it's just fun, kind of candy, sweet, like fun romance. It's gay romance. I really enjoyed it.
I mean, I met Gail before I read her books. Again, another person that I met before I read their books, but very, very, very kind, very sweet, very like. I mean,
She's adorable.
She was in a room with just authors.
She does really great tea.
We were sitting at a table. It was all authors, and obviously Sue, who is a blogger, and she does go to RWA meetings and stuff. And I was, sitting there as, pretty much a nobody, and she was just very kind and welcoming. So I can respect that.
I'm at 9%.
Should
probably end this broadcast soon,
Yeah.
or my phone is gonna die. So you guys who have stuck in, Antonietta and Jennifer, thank you so much for chatting with us. It has been a ton.
Antonietta, you need to
Bye.
contact us. We want to hang out with you.
Yes. If you're in the Bay Area, anybody who's in the Bay Area and who's a romance fan, like seriously, message me on the Grape Tales Facebook page because I would love to meet up with you. Jen says the Discovery of Witches trilogy is done. The author just announced this TV deal. I totally believe that. It would totally work as TV, yeah. Antonietta says she's making a TV show. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I hope it's as good as the books too. Because that's not always a guaranteed, right?
No.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to have the thoughts that are happening in the head.
It's not always as good. Okay, before my phone dies, I'm going to end the broadcast. But thank you guys for hanging in. This was probably the longest video I've done on my Facebook Live. But I will see you tomorrow for day, I think, 19? Yeah,
20.
day.
Or
Is tomorrow the 20th?
I don't know. Let's just go with the day. It's another day.
Whatever tomorrow is, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.